Every afternoon, the same white SUV cut across my private farm road. It wasn't a public shortcut, but that never seemed to matter to the driver. The speeding vehicles cover my fields and equipment with dust. I knew I had to find a legal way to protect my property. I replaced the old sign with a larger, easier-to-read warning. Anyone entering the road could clearly see it. The very next morning, the same SUV drove past without hesitation. It was obvious the warnings were being ignored. I politely asked her to use the public road instead. She insisted the shortcut saved her several minutes every day. When I explained it was private property, she laughed. Then she drove away, spraying gravel behind her. Weeks passed, and the road became harder to maintain. Heavy tires carved deep ruts into gravel after every trip. Repairing the damage cost both time and money. The problem wasn't going away on its own. Before making any changes, I contacted the county for guidance. I wanted to make sure every step stayed within the law. After reviewing my property boundaries and local rules, I added clear warning signs at the entrance. Anyone choosing to ignore them would be accepting the risk of entering a clearly marked private road. I decided to give everyone one final warning. The new signs were impossible to miss from the entrance. They clearly explained the road was private and protected. Anyone driving past them could no longer claim they hadn't seen the notice. The following afternoon, the familiar SUV appeared again. Without slowing down, Emily drove past every warning sign. She acted as though the rules simply didn't apply to her. I quietly watched from a distance without saying a word. Only moments later, the SUV rolled to a stop. Emily stepped outside to see what had happened. She immediately noticed a clearly marked deterrent device near the entrance. The warning signs had been there the entire time. Emily immediately blamed me for what had happened. I calmly pointed toward the warning sign she had just passed. Everything on the road had been clearly marked in advance. The conversation quickly became more emotional than factual. A deputy soon arrived to understand what had taken place. He listened carefully to both sides before reaching any conclusions. Jack presented his property records and photographs of the warning signs. The deputy began reviewing the facts before making any decision. The deputy carefully reviewed every document Jack handed him. He compared the survey map with the warning signs at the entrance. Everything appeared organized and properly documented. Emily quietly waited, hoping the decision would favor her. The deputy located the original county survey marker. Its position matched Jack's official property records perfectly. The private road was exactly where the documents showed. There was no confusion about the property line. Several neighboring farmers stopped to speak with the deputy. They explained they had seen the same SUV using the shortcut many times. Each account matched what Jack had already described. The deputy appreciated hearing independent witnesses. Jack then showed security footage from the ranch entrance. The recordings clearly captured the SUV passing every warning sign. The dates showed it had happened repeatedly over several weeks. The deputy now had a much clearer picture of the situation. The deputy explained the importance of respecting private property. He pointed out that the warning signs were clearly visible. He encouraged everyone to use the public roadway in the future. The conversation remained calm and professional. A towing company was called to assist with the disabled SUV. The workers carefully prepared the vehicle for transport. No one argued with the crew as they completed their job. The long shortcut had suddenly become a very expensive trip. After the tow truck left, Emily walked back toward the ranch gate. Her tone was much calmer than before. Jack listened patiently without interrupting. Sometimes a respectful conversation begins after emotions settle. The discussion ended on a more positive note. Everyone agreed that clear boundaries deserve respect. The deputy wished both of them a safe evening. Peace slowly returned to the quiet countryside. The following week, the shortcut was no longer being used. Traffic stayed on the public county road where it belonged. Jack's farm road remained quiet once again. The simple change made a big difference. Protecting property doesn't always require an argument. Sometimes clear rules and patience are enough. The farm returned to the quiet rhythm it had always known. And from that day forward, everyone respected where the public road ended and the private road began.